people, we are back at To The Podcast, episode 218, and we are back in the building for another episode of Us. It is your boy, International Walk.
And it's your girl, Tasha, co-hostess with the mostest.
And we live. Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Podcast Index, Podchaser, Google Podcasts, Player FM. It's all the platforms you can catch us on. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Watch us. If you ain't got nothing to do, view us up a little bit. Check us out. If y'all fuck with us, we fuck with y'all.
And if you don't F with us, you should.
You should.
That's our thing.
That's why she there. Let's get right to the show. How are you?
I am.
What's going down? What's going on?
Mentally, I'm like, I can't be like.
Where's your voice at?
My voice is here. I'm projecting. I'm an 8.5.
Okay.
Mentally, yeah. Probably allow some things to enter my head space that I shouldn't. Work kind of pissed me off. Well, not work itself, but something happened work related that like really annoyed me. Neighborhood stuff we found out about really annoyed me and was like some triggers. So I've just been clearing my head. Walking has been great physically and mentally for me. So that's where I am. But I feel myself getting better and just praying and talking to God and releasing some of that, because other than that, like, I'm great. Nothing is wrong with us. So I just have to like clear my mind. But if I'm being honest, yeah, I let things affect my head space that I probably shouldn't have. Then one of my sisters she got a situation going on. I was really worried about her, so that kind of affected my headspace. Finances an 8. Thank God for all of his blessings. Work is a 9. Work is good, and I'm just praying to God for his direction. Sometimes we have to look at things in a different perspective, so that's what I've been just trying to do and ask God, like, okay, instead of me looking at it this way, let me appreciate it this way. But that people manager stuff, I tell y'all, it's something. And then physically, I'm a 9. I feel good. I've walked the last 3 days. This weather change has been awesome. And I told myself, you know what? It ain't the first of the month. Like, sometimes we got to stop putting stuff off. Say, I'm going to start on Monday. I'm going to start on even though I did start on Monday, but it was just like, I just got to get back started and just do what I got to do. And I ain't using no apps, no watch, none of that, no kind of tracker thing. Just walking till I feel good and, feel like I've done enough. Today I walked and listened to a Sarah Jakes sermon, and it was I cried. It was really good. I needed it, and it was good. But physically, and I say I'm a 9 because I feel great walking, but my body's like, sis, you ain't. What's up? You've been fronting on us for a little while, so I'm getting back into it. But I'm not pushing myself. I'm not going faster than I want to go. Again, I'm not in a competition with anybody except myself. So I'm just trying to be intentional, be focused, be disciplined, and here we go again.
Do you think not only you, but you think people, they tell themselves that just to be motivated?
What?
What you just said, everything you just said. Like, I'm not in competition with nobody. I'm not trying to do this. I'm just walking for me. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not saying all that stuff isn't real to your feelings. I'm just saying, do you think people sauce that a little bit?
I'm sure some people do.
To lower expectations, I guess.
I'm sure. You know what? I'm sure some people do. And I don't necessarily think it's necessarily to lower expectations, but to lower pressure. Because I feel like when you have those and not that they are good and they serve their purpose, like when you wear an Apple Watch or Fitbit or you do trackers, they serve their purpose. But then you can also find yourself having pressure, like, I gotta beat my record from yesterday, or if I did this amount of time, if I did this distance in 55 minutes, now today I did it in 58 minutes, and you might feel like you didn't do as good when you might have did awesome. So I think people probably tell themselves to not lower expectations, but to eliminate some of the pressure. I know, at least for myself, that's why I tell myself that, like, just do it. Take away those pressures of, it's cool if you got a friend and y'all both like, are we going to do the Apple Watch thing so you can motivate each other? But, I mean, if you don't need that, which I don't, then it's like, just get out there and do it. Like, I'm not tracking how long, like, as far as distance or time. I mean, the sermon I listened to was 1 hour and 4 minutes. So, bless you.
Thank you.
So, I mean, that's about how long I walk. Give or take a couple minutes, walking to and from my car and stretching. But, if it was 57 minutes, I would have walked doing that.
It is what it is.
Yeah. So I think it's to relieve some of the pressure. And a competition thing, some people do get caught up in that, especially in this social media where you see other people. And I think it's okay to use people as motivation. Like, you see somebody who may be the same size as you. I love to see women who I know who have done it naturally. As soon as I see VSG in their hashtags, then I scroll by. Because shout out to them. They did it how they thought they had to do it, but we on different playing fields. So it's like, all right, I don't want to necessarily follow your journey because you did it differently than I'm trying to do it.
Okay.
How are you?
I am good. I got an itch. That was it.
You look like that felt good. When you close your eyes and itch,
yeah,
you know it feels good.
Like I got right on the spot with the finger. I'm good.
Pause.
Well, yeah. Think somebody's asshole or something. I'm good. I'm good. Mentally, I am a 9. Feel like a 9 mentally. Financials is always an 8. It's always going to be a stopgap there, just so the bucket can keep filling. Super grateful and appreciative. What's going on here?
No, I'm just putting on do not disturb. Let's see.
Are you sure?
I don't know what's going on, but I felt my phone vibrate.
Let your boyfriend be calling.
Oh my God! Say sorry to the people because you disrespected
let your boyfriend
me.
Be calling. I'm just saying. Let me get through my thing. Talk about your boyfriend later. Finances is an 8. Like I said, a stopgap for that. What's next? Work is a 10. Work is coming together. Work's a 10. Fresh coat of paint on the place makes it look like a place. We've been looking at the same thing for like 4 months. It's
good to see some paint.
Get some paint on it.
And is it also a mental thing? Like, paint indicates like you headed to the finish line.
Yeah, it's a milestone. Like if your job is done by drafts, then somebody asking for some money. Work's a 10. Physically, I feel like a 10. I was at the gym today and I was moving as fast as I could.
No, it shouldn't be as fast as you could. As fast as you should.
As fast as I should. I'm sorry, I used the wrong word, people. I don't want to get hit. Like,
I want him to be safe and healthy.
I came back healthy. I'm not hurt. I'm not injured. But I was like, I broke a sweat, and it felt real good. I was taking deep breaths. It just felt good. I almost cried. But it just felt good. So physically, I feel like a 10.
That's good. Your wows and woes for this week?
Wow is that I'm just getting back to myself, and well, it's 2 wows. I'm getting back to myself and the weather break, and I really enjoyed walking on the track with you. You haven't done that since last year, and I kind of missed that. So I can't wait till we can. I'm like fully healed. March 31st, in case y'all wondering out there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so when I'm fully healed, like.
Looking forward to some
being
activities.
outside. I'm hoping that when I come home that you're ready. You have socks on. Your shoes will be like ready to go, like on the step. You know where they at. You don't have to go in the closet. Like, these are things like maybe an hour before me getting off, like 1 o'clock. You kind of anticipate, like, hey, we're going out to the track, so let me get track ready, and not be like, hey, I'm coming in a minute, and then. You all excited, every time you get excited, you got a dookie. And then it's like, hold up, I got a dookie real quick. So,
why would you put my business out there?
Just be ready. get to the first.
And I don't dookie, I poop.
First thing I want to talk to you about.
My wows and woes.
I'm sorry. What was your wows and woes? What was your ups and downs, your stops and goes, your blacks and whites?
I'll just say, I'll start with my woe. Woe was just like I mentioned, my sister going through. I was feeling this week a little bit of I don't want to call it family blues, like missing my babies and my sister a little bit. Her going through something and not being able to be there for her. Be close to her. In my mind, I'm typically an optimistic person, but just thinking like, God forbid, things go left and how fast can I get the flight, like. But she's fine. But
if things went left, we would get a flight real quickly.
I mean, I know,
but relatively quickly.
I know,
as quick as one could get.
I know, but
if you're talking about left, like as quick as one could get.
I know, but just the thought of like having to go down that thought, it just was like, damn, I could really use a hug from my babies today. But that was just my world for a moment. And my wild, to piggyback on you, the weather, like. The sunshine, being outside. Yes, it really helps to boost. I think if it was gray these last couple days, I probably would be in a funk. Like, my baby's out of commission. I can't, love on him the way that I want to. And then, feeling a little blues about missing them. If it was gray, I would be like, I might be crying. But I'm not, because I'm just happy. I'm healthy. My baby's healthy. The sun is out and it feels good. I love the sun and the change of weather. So that has, for me too, been my wow. Just being able, it was a little cooler, but I don't even care about that. The fact that it was bright and sunny, that's awesome.
Before we move on, maybe in the future, and I always tell you about going back to therapy, like if you need to, but you should think about not moving with more intention with your happiness, so that your emotions don't let things in and have triggers and things like that. Like when you move with emotion a lot and you if it's gray, then you sad. If the sun's out, then you happy. Like if you kind of depend on those things to set your mood for the day, and you don't have intentional happiness, then that can affect you a lot.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm not saying like if it's gray, I'm automatically going to be sad.
No,
I'm just saying
that you said that. I didn't say that you said you
right.
automatically automatically sad. But I know if it's 3-4 days of gray, you would be crying. You would be upset.
Well, I mean, seasonal affective disorder is a thing. Like people, and I'm not saying I suffer from that, but I'm just saying the combination of feeling this, and then that on top of it might. Now, if it was just gray and I was feeling okay, I might just feel sleepy and be like, oh, I'm going to just cuddle up with you and nap or whatever. But I'm just saying, if the combination of all those things had come together, I may have felt worse than I did. So, but I do hear what you're saying. I just want you to be happy.
I don't know if I worded it right, but or used the right articulation, but I just want you to be happy at all times and not it be something comes up and it's like something emotionally got you distraught for a couple days. Rightfully so, that it's real to you, but I just don't want stuff to take you out like that.
I appreciate it.
First of all, let me just ask you, if you're 44, so if you were, say, 40 more years, you were 84. What do you think your 84-year-old self would tell you now on how to live the next 40 years? Knowing everything you know now, knowing the dreams that you want that's going forward, but hey, you get a chance to talk to 84-year-old Tasha, and she's going to give you game on how to live the next 40 years.
Be your authentic self. Don't do anything that that doesn't feel good, that you don't want to do. I would think that she would want me to, like when people say live in the moment, like you only have one life, but that kind of I don't want to say butt heads, because that's not the right word. We're not always aligned in that, because you are more regimented and more of a planner than I am. So I would think my 84-year-old, I would want my 84-year-old self to feel like that, but that's just not how our life plays out. But I think just being authentic, being true to myself, pray, and yeah, I think those things would, help me to achieve that longevity. Because I think peace of mind, I think those things help your peace of mind, which helps your overall health. That's what I think. So I think that's what my 84-year-old self would say, is to be authentic to who I am, be true to myself, don't do nothing I don't want to.
And you can get to 84.
And pray and drink water, girl.
I think my 84-year-old self would say, always be close to God. Don't stop moving. I think they would tell me to don't work as much. Like, life isn't all about working, and you never know when you can go. And to get to 84, you want to have memories and things like that. So I think my 84-year-old self would say, make more memories, like take more chances, and not be such a planner all the time. I mean, it's good to plan, because if you're graced to get 84, you don't want to be sitting there butt ass naked. But it's good to live a little also. So I think my 84-year-old self would tell me that. Yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah, I think that's about it.
And she would also say, keep loving and taking care of that man.
Of course, that old ass lady you got, you might want to hold on to her. She's been around for a little bit. Cheaper to keep her. You know what they say. It's cheaper to keep her. Yeah, did you, speaking of being 80 years old and up in age, the Gene Hackman death?
Yeah.
My man Gene was 95, and the reports came out that his wife had passed a week before him. Mm-hmm. And Alzheimer's got to be significantly like in its heightened stages for you to walk around an apartment and your wife is dead.
Well, he didn't have an apartment. He had like a compound.
But for a week, where she's dead, like.
I mean, I do think he had like late stage Alzheimer's, and she was his caretaker. Which you think, from what I've heard, it'd be. Well, you're right. His wife was his caretaker.
Right.
So it wasn't like they had a nurse coming in.
That's like homemade stuff. And she died from a rodent virus.
Hantavirus.
Yeah, I forgot the name of hantavirus. Mm-hmm. But that's a rodent virus that you can't get rid of.
Mice and urine and droppings.
Yeah, and I don't know how fatal it is or what it does to you. I didn't look this up, but I know you can't get rid of it. I know it's just stuff that can help with the disease or whatever, but you can't get rid of it. But in the end, it's to think that they were almost mummified, they said.
Wow.
Like she was, like they said, more mummified than him, but he was almost mummified too. Yeah. And they just think, like, when does mummification set in?
Well, you think too, they lived in New Mexico, a different climate. Who knows what the temperature in the house was, because let's say she regulated that on a daily basis, but with him, with his Alzheimer's, he may not have, the house might have been hot, like, hotter than it should have been. Who knows? Just there are factors that could have been. Just imagine a person with Alzheimer's living by themselves. My great grandmother, on my mom's dad's side, I was told that when they knew that she had Alzheimer's or dementia, I don't know exactly which one, but they know it was in their late stages when they went to visit her at her home in North Carolina, and she had hams that she had been baking, but like storing them away in a closet. And just like, you think this is meat. Yeah. I can't imagine what it smelled like. And that's when they knew, like, okay, she could no longer like live by herself. So just how it does, the things that it does to your brain. So who knows, he could have been in there hot, not even like having any kind of cognition to say
where
turn the air up or turn the
hot, cold.
And then the dog died too.
But the dog had a procedure and was probably just neglected
because she was dead and she was the caretaker. From what I heard, the way that I heard this described, and it may sound horrible, but this was the perfect storm of tragedy. Like with him already having Alzheimer's, her being his caretaker, the dog having surgery,
having hantavirus.
Yeah, so the caretaker dying, which now she can't, give post-op care to the dog. She can't continue to care for him in his stages of Alzheimer's. It was just the perfect storm of tragedy. The sad part about it is he did have 3 children. He and his wife were 30 years apart. He was 95 and I think she was 65. He had children that were 65, 62, and I think like late 50s, 58. But I mean, who's to say what the relationship was like? They had been dead for like a week or something. Well, she had been dead for a week, then he was dead for a week. So you talk about a 2-week period. I mean, unfortunately, you have situations where children don't talk to their parents regularly, if at all. We don't know if they were estranged.
In the 60s or something like that. Like they might live in different states. It could like just talk once a month or something like that. That's normal.
I mean, it's not. Well, it can be normal. And then you got some people that talk to their parents every single day, no matter how old they are.
Two things can be true at the same
I don't
time.
think it's unusual that the kid didn't know, because again, who knows what their relationship was like. It's not like he was in there dead for a year and nobody knew.
Right.
So, for it to be a couple weeks, I don't think it's something that's like so unusual, and the children, again, they just may not have. And at 95 years old and your father has Alzheimer's, not for nothing, you probably ain't calling him every day anyway, because he may not know who you are or be able to even have a conversation.
And it's a
so
pain
you
in the
may
ass
be
for
more
you.
in contact with the caretaker, his wife, if at all.
And it's more of a pain in the ass to you to talk to him.
Yeah, or it just you may not be able to have a legible conversation.
Yeah, for my nana, it was I remember when she had dementia, and when she was deemed, I guess, no longer able to live by herself. I remember they said that they would. My family said they used to go there, and she would have newspapers on the stove, and it was like like she ain't cooking, she ain't eating, and also that's a huge fucking fire hazard, because
what she did think to herself to turn the stove on.
Now you lit up a bunch of daily newses. But yeah, that's sad that Gene Hackman, the actor, the life that he, that we saw he had. I don't know what kind of husband or father or uncle or brother he was, but he just, the man that I seen, it's a shame to go out like this. Like, died on the floor, and your wife died a week before, your dog. Like, that's not how you should go out, and you're, not that Oscars or accolades mean anything, but just as a man, like, damn, just knowing Gene Hackman, like, that's a fucked up way to go out. A bad way to go out. Did you see the relay race hitter?
I did. Well, I saw the video. I didn't watch her interview where she was saying, like, it wasn't what you look like. I mean...
Well, that was a crock of shit, too.
Because the video, it clearly... And I know when there are some races, like, her making that, like, gesture... Like, you see some races when people are finishing where they'll, like, do that. But at that point in the race, it just seems like there was no reason for her to be extending her hand in that manner other than to hit the girl.
She clocked her twice, bop, bop, because she passed her. Like, clearly, it was a bop, bop. And there's no... When she put her little interview up saying she was crying, talking about... people giving me death threats for a 9-second interview. I would never do this. I would never hit nobody. What y'all see is when she came past me, she was close, and my baton rolled up her back, and then she got hit. Like, what the fuck type of story? And that's verbatim. I didn't put no sauce on that. That's exactly what she said. My baton rolled up her back, and she got hit. But she got hit 3 times, and she fell down.
Well, she didn't fall.
She ran off to the side.
Yeah, she kind of stumbled and like held her head or whatever.
That's what I meant. Yeah. She stumbled and went down for a second.
Yeah, she was probably in shock, like, I can't believe, like, what just happened. And she said she had a headache and everything. It reminds me of the Nancy Kerrigan and what was it,
Tanya Harding.
Tanya Harding.
What if that's your daughter?
And she hit the girl. Like, I mean, well, of course.
First, she hit the girl. What if that's your daughter?
That's aggressor. What I'm saying. Oh, the aggressor?
Yeah. What if that's your daughter?
Yeah, I mean, we would have to have a conversation about sportsmanship and, you know, conduct, and you got to face the consequences. If now you, it's a shame, especially if you were great in your sport, and now you have to face the consequences of not being able to participate. We're gonna have that conversation, and this is a hard life lesson to learn, but it's probably.
So, as a parent, you would just leave it on the sport to do the discipline. Like, what discipline would you have as a parent to see your kid lose it and clunk somebody with a baton?
I mean, I probably would get her some therapy, some sort of, anger management. And we would have a conversation about accountability. Like, sis, don't go in here looking crazy. Like, really, don't go, because that accountability can go a long way. And you saying, I became frustrated, I didn't handle it well, I'm sorry. Like, we would definitely have that conversation. But I mean, and if you want to make any attempts of potentially being able to participate in sports again, you're going to have to write a letter, do some kind of expression of remorse, and
before see you just take back on the sport.
Yes, if they allow you to. That's what I'm saying. If they even allow you to.
What if that's your daughter who got hit?
Then I probably will. I mean. I don't know. It's hard to say because
what if your daughter was great at her sport and she was about to beat the girl and she got clunk.
I mean, it's high school, so I mean, I would feel like on one hand
she could be recruited for college. So
on one hand, I would feel like I want her to be punished. On the other hand, I don't know if I would feel like I would want to have a conversation with her too, like, okay, sis, y'all are young Black women, and there's a better way to handle this. I don't know if I would want her career totally flushed down the drain because of one.
No, I'm not talking about I'm sorry, I'm not talking about the girl the aggressor no more.
No, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
you talking about the girl who got hit. Yeah, I'm saying I would want the I said I feel kind of torn because on one end I would want the girl punished. At the same time, no, I don't know if I would want, like, her, if she had any, like, future potential career in that sport, I don't know if I would want that ruined because of this one incident. But a conversation would definitely be needed, and she would have to apologize to my daughter. Like, in order for me to feel like I want to have any remorse for her, she would have to show some remorse for what she did. But I don't know if I would feel like I wanted her whole potential athletic career thrown down the drain. Now, my daughter, I would want to make sure that she's okay and that, that she feels safe and secure in the future. But I think the girl who was the aggressor, she probably needs more of the attention. Because it's not like the girl, I mean, yeah, she got hit in the head, she had a little headache. It wasn't like she had a concussion or she was knocked out or she had to go to the hospital. But, it was, I think the girl who was the aggressor, she needs more of a conversation about her unsportsmanlike conduct and the way she handled a situation where, like, being a sore loser.
I disagree with all that. I think the girl who got hit should handle, you can't tell somebody how to respond to something that you did purposefully and you tried to hurt her and you hit her in the head 3 times or hit her in the head twice and in her back. And if she wants you arrested for assault, then that should be what it is. Because what if you hit her and knocked her out? What if you hit her and she fell and broke her leg and can never run again? Like, these are all things that could have happened because of your actions, and you have to be held responsible for that. And if that girl wants you arrested or your career done or never to run again, then that's just what you got to take for losing your shit on a track field in high school and clunking a girl with a baton.
Right, like, but if you're the parent of the girl, is that what you would want for a 15, 16-year-old girl?
I would at that moment I would care more about my daughter than or my son than what's going on with you. At that point I don't care, and it sounds harsh, and and selfish, but I don't care what happens to you. You hit my kid.
No, but I know, but what I'm saying, would you want to press charges on her?
I'm getting there. If you let me land.
Sorry.
So if you hit my kid, then yeah, I want some type of what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, you have to face a consequence. If that's getting you kicked out of track, if that's getting you arrested for a simple assault, actually it'd be aggravated assault because it's a weapon. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I want all that to be, because if it was my kid, that it's a chance that could happen to my kid also. It's not your kid get clunked with a baton 3 times in the head. It's not time to stop and say, let's look at the lives that we're going to upset here. I'm not with that. Like, something happened, then there's consequences to it. You shouldn't have lost your shit and clunked somebody with a baton. Anything could have happened. You could have put the fucking girl's eye out. She could have fell, cracked her fucking knee open, never to run track again. Like, it's a lot can happen from you losing your shit and clunking somebody with a baton. Like, no, the girl was passing you. Like, you take your L, and that's just it. You move on. Okay. My daughter that would have got hit with a baton, like, I mean, I don't know if she would have been like, I want to leave the sport, or I want to fight this girl. Obviously, I don't want you to fight nobody, but, you know, I don't even know what the protocol is to teach someone who got hit with a baton in track. Like, you're running a sport, a meet, and the girl hit you with a baton. Like, I don't even know what to say to how to fix that. Like, this probably never happened before.
Yeah, it's probably nothing to say. Like, okay, as long as you're all right medically, you know, unfortunately, you may be dealt with people who can't handle your success. And the likelihood of it happening again is probably slim to none. Mm-hmm. Like, again,
like, you can go out there and run track, you're not going to get hit again.
Yeah.
That's crazy. There's a phenomenon going around the internet, the boat question. And this is, did you see this?
No.
Okay, the boat question is, if me and you, yeah, you can use me. I don't like to put things on me and you, but this is perfect. So me and you, because everybody out there knows our relationship, know how much I love her. Y'all know how much she loved me. Let's just say we also had a 10-month-old baby, and we were out on a boat. Mm-hmm. And you, hypothetically, you only could save one of us. Who are you saving?
I could only save you or the baby?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And this got lots of comments and lots of feedback, and there was women, there was men, but just you can think about it. I'll vent for a minute, I'll smoke for a minute. Don't try to rush to your thought. Just think about it. I probably would have answered quicker, but go ahead.
I mean, because
it's your turn. It ain't me.
That's so
but you gotta pick one. It's a hypothetical situation. You're on a boat. You have me, the 10-month-old baby, and you only can save one of us. Who you saving?
I probably would save the baby.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't. I mean,
I was wrong about you.
Well,
wow.
I can't. I mean,
I think that hurts a little bit, but it's okay. Go ahead.
I mean, you want us to be honest?
Yeah, go ahead. Elaborate.
I can't, to just let the baby die. I don't know. I would. It's such a hard question and dilemma. You think your child that you birthed, like, this is the life you're responsible for, and then the person who you've been doing life with, who's an adult, like, that's very difficult. Like, I think,
for the sake of the pod and the sake of the question, you have to answer one.
Well, I answered. I said the baby.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out my sight. It's like, no.
I would hope that you would save the baby too.
No, absolutely not.
You would let our baby die?
For you, yes. And
you,
again,
you say that
my
you don't have a baby.
No, my answers are going to sound selfish and harsh, but my feeling is, and it's a woman who had this same kind of temperament. Like, you're my wife. Like, me and you can make another baby. I'm not talking about, so we can make another baby. And to even sound harsher, like, I only known this baby for 10 months. I've known you for 25 years. So me and you can deal with this situation that we both lost a child, and we can deal with that together and try to make another baby if we want. But me and you will be together. I'm saving you in any situation like that. I understand like it's the baby and it's a 10-month-old, but I'm not going to save the baby and not have you with me to raise the baby. Like that, when I think about that in its totality, if I take the baby, leave Tasha in the water to die or whatever, and I come back, now I got this life when I'm raising this baby that I'm reminded every day that my wife isn't here. I'm not going to be able to do that job and raise that baby to my fullest degree. But if the baby's gone and me and you are gone, there's a possibility that with us together, the hurt we may get over. Not over, but we may be able to deal with together because we have each other to lean on. And through that, if we decide to make another baby or try, all things considered, all things good, we can try to make another baby. So that would be my thoughts.
What if I was not able to forgive you and I resented you for letting our baby, like you had the choice to save me or the baby and you let our baby die. Like, so what if I resented you for that?
I understand. We probably have to go to therapy and some things like that and talk about that. But I would fight for you. I wouldn't just let you leave me or let you be like, you being mean to me or resent me. I know what that stems from. Like, we're going to talk to somebody and hopefully we can get through it. But again, I would rather try to do that part of life with you than to be sitting here with a baby alone without you.
That's
a hypothetical situation. So people ain't got to be like, attacking people or whatever. Like, it's a question on the internet that everybody was answering. This woman was like, absolutely, I'm saving my husband. She was like, the same thing I said. She goes, I just had this baby. We can try to make another baby, but I picked this man, and I picked this man to walk through life with, and that's who I'm doing life with. Whatever kind of life I have, I'm doing it with this man. So if we have a no kid life, a lost kid life, whatever type of life is thrown at us by God, we will deal with together because we picked each other. And I felt that. It was like, yeah, we that's how I feel about you. And everybody knows how much I love you. Like, I wouldn't be able to come back and raise a baby without you.
So when you a 10-month-old baby, what if it's a 10-year-old?
Well, obviously, a lot of people tried to move the goalposts and change the age.
Well, I'm moving the goalposts because again, you still talking about
because it changes with age, I guess.
Well, I mean, because then you figure, okay, if we've been together 35 years and we only known this kid for 10 years. The circumstances are still the same. You chose this husband. You could have another kid.
I think I'm always choosing you, no matter how old the kid is. I'm always choosing you. I'm always going to choose my wife in that situation because I feel like we can make another kid. Or, like I said, we can deal with the fact that we both are going through this, and hopefully we both can lean on each other to get through it. I know there's going to be some peaks and some valleys and shit. I might feel some type of way that I don't even know that I'm going to feel. You might feel some type of way for resentment. Like, it could be a whole lot of shit, but I would bank on us getting through that together than me getting through being here with the 10-month-old together by my damn self.
Jeez, that's a harsh reality for anybody to have to face. I mean, I know it's hypothetical, but for anybody to be in that situation.
But you ain't saving me though.
Let's
talk about that though.
I just can't imagine a situation. I mean,
you just gonna walk, let walk, no. Just leave there like. What if I'm like, Tosh, babe, and what if my hand out?
Like I would try to save both of y'all.
No, you only can save one.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine just throwing my baby away.
You think you would be able to do life better with you and the baby than me and you?
But I don't know. No, I don't think I would be able to do life better. But I don't know what sunken place it would put me in to know like that I let my baby die.
I know, but if you said even if I go in the sunkenest place, the person that loves me the most on this planet is here. Even if I don't want to grab his hand right now, whenever I feel too fucking sunken and I can put my hand out, he gonna be here.
And I don't know, maybe it would be different if our baby story wasn't what it is. Like it
This is why I preface with hypothetical.
Yeah.
Oh my God. 3 grams. Eagles going to the White House.
It makes me think.
And no, like 1 or 2 people say I ain't going. Every whole team, coaches, everybody.
It makes me think was all the rhetoric about them saying no in the beginning. This is when they say you can't trust the media. You really don't know what to believe. Did they ever really say no?
The invite didn't happen yet when that first happened.
Oh,
that was just bull. It's the media.
Crazy.
Yeah, the invite didn't even happen yet.
I mean, I understand.
But they just got the invite and they accepted it.
I understand them wanting to stick with, tradition for whatever reason. Would you want to go?
I don't know. If I won the Super Bowl with my team, and it's normally a team thing, and all the coaches and all 53 players are going,
right?
Yeah, I probably would go because it's like my team thing. We just did this thing that it's like going to Disneyland. Like everybody's going to do that part of it. That don't mean walking into this place
that you're a Trump fan.
I like your fucking politics, bro, or I like the things you say. I'm just coming in here. Like I probably won't try to like not shake your hand, try to like be out the way, but I'm here.
Yeah, I don't want
I'll be in the pictures. Yeah, but I'm not taking one with you. I won't be shaking your hand. I'm not trying to seek you out to be like, yo, let me get a handshake. No.
Isn't that the time when like they buy them food, like they?
Okay. Yeah, they give them because I remember the girls went and he gave them all McDonald's that time. But yeah, so yeah, they get you some food, and I think it's the Eagles and it's Philadelphia, so they probably gonna have it catered.
Steaks or something.
Probably, I didn't even think about that. I was just thinking they probably had a White House staff do them up nice.
Yeah. Just
to take the stigma off of the Trump bullshit with the people coming to the White House, you get Snickers and goddamn McDonald's.
Yeah.
It's like these are highly trained professional athletes. Why are you giving
they
them
probably? I would say they're not gonna want
McDonald's.
I mean, you got yeah.
That's crazy. But you got no issue with the Eagles going to the White House. Would you go?
Like you said,
or would you be the lone person on your team to be like, I ain't gonna go, y'all?
I would put on a unified front. If it was like majority, the team, it's like, are we gonna do this together as a team to avoid any division? Because again, that's not indicative that you stand with his politics. You're just going along with the tradition of it. Yeah.
The pageantry of it.
Exactly. Yeah. So I agree with you. I would kind of go along if it's the team thing. That's what we're gonna do as the team.
Yeah, I don't have no issue with it. And I'm glad to see that everybody, because again, if 1 or 2 people said they didn't want to come, Trump would cancel the whole show.
And that would be an even bigger story.
Yeah, and it would be a bigger issue. He'd be like, you know what, nobody's invited.
He would say the Eagles aren't that great of a team anyway.
They're not a fine team. They're not the best. Kansas City's the best. And they lost 40-6.
Can I just say something really fast? He would say it was illegal for them not to show. He said that people were trying to illegally boycott Tesla. And somebody had a good take. They said anything that people do that he likes, he says is legal. If they do something he don't like, he says it's illegal. Who says it's illegal to boycott Tesla? If we don't want to buy a Tesla, people can boycott and say we're not buying a Tesla. Why is that illegal?
Yeah, you don't have to have
just
an
says
vehicle.
Anything out his face.
And Elon's his boy. He just bought him 3 Teslas at the White House.
But they said Tesla sales have dropped 78%.
This is why
even
this
in
done.
Germany, they're not like, I don't know why they pointed out Germany. Maybe before they were a big purchaser, but they said like sales across the board for Teslas have dropped 78%.
I wouldn't get one. Yeah, not my thing with the battery and the charge up shit. Graham too. And speaking of Trump, in DC they removing the BLM logo on the street. You know that when the Black Lives Matter thing was going down, and it was like going down the whole whole avenue or whatever.
You remember we were in Puerto Rico and they had that? It was so dope. Yeah, that was so dope when we were in San Juan. Yeah. I wonder if that's still there.
I was wondering where we were when I thought it was New York.
No, that was Puerto Rico. I think New York might have had it, but that was in Puerto Rico.
New York had one too, because I remember when we was on the seesaws. We saw one.
Possibly, yeah. I don't remember, but yeah, I'm sure they do. But yeah, in San Juan, I thought that was so. I think I have a picture of it, but I just thought that was so dope that they had that there in San Juan, right on their main strip.
On Ashton.
Yeah.
That's the street we was on when we came out the hotel with an STK. Ashford, yeah.
Yeah. So
Remember
yes.
that place used to stop at 2:00. They used to party all day, and then at 2:00 it was like,
yep, quiet.
Just stop right there.
But you know the thing with him, his threats are he's such a big baby. He threatened to stop funding if they didn't remove it, and it's like, come on, his shenanigans. It's just it's annoying.
I think that's a iconic thing that people should be like at a town hall meeting about. Like, this is something that it's not bothering nobody. And when you see what they're doing, they're digging up the whole street.
That's what I don't understand. Like, why couldn't they just paint it?
I don't know. They dug up the whole they're taking asphalt out and putting new asphalt in.
Wow, that's crazy.
So backing up traffic for days just to get BLM off the street.
Yeah, that's crazy. But again, his shenanigans. It's the way in which he does things that makes it even worse. Again, threats. I'm not gonna give you no money if you don't do this. Like
he might put tariffs on him. And the dude from Canada said today, I do not want to do this, but I will shut the electric off to New York City. Because my main goal is for the people of Ontario. And if Trump started this trade war, this is not the American people's fault. This is not my fault. It's y'all president's fault. But don't think for a second that I won't shut the electricity down that's going to New York. He's like, I want to continue to sell energy and continue to provide electricity, but don't think for a second we will hesitate on shutting the electric down. And it was just like, damn, how much electric is Canada pumping into New York? Would that be like a blackout?
Well, you think, depending...
Is it like Buffalo type New York? Or is it New York City?
No, that's what I'm thinking, like upstate New York. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know, but because, for them to be providing electricity in New York City, that's a distance. Lot. Yeah, but, who
That's
knows?
not something you should play with if they're providing that much electric.
Yeah.
Stock market, billboards, all that, like, that's a problem.
Life.
Yeah, that's a problem. Last gram, Wendy Williams, the GOAT of, her thing. Everybody loved Wendy Williams, and she was in a conservatorship. She is in a conservatorship. Well, today, Charlemagne got taken to the doctor. Well, this week, he got her taken to the doctor, and she passed her capacity test to get out of her conservatorship. So I don't know what the next protocol and processes are to get her out of it, but I know he's doing everything he can.
So she dropped a note from her window saying, "Help me, Wendy." And somebody got wind of it. They called the police. They went there. They took her, and the people at the facility took her to the psych unit as if like they were getting her in trouble. She spazzed out when they did a psych eval. They said she passed 10 out of 10. So now she's gonna, in contact with her lawyers to say, okay, if this shows that I am not incapacitated, like they're trying to say that I am, then what's up? Let's get. And this is a shame because it makes you think back to and Britney Spears was the first person I had ever heard about this happening to, and people kind of still make jokes because she make her videos on in front of that camera with her little tiny panties on. And it goes to show that I don't know if she really was not all the way there or if the isolation caused her to be the way she is now.
Isolation will do that.
But it also made her afraid of the public because she had stories about with her going out with friends or trying to when her conservatorship was over, but she didn't trust them because she thought people was taking pictures of her for illicit purposes, and
that's a different type of isolation though that you're talking about because she had nannies and gardeners and shit around the house. That type of isolation that'll drive you insane is just you by yourself.
Yeah. But they isolated her to the point where she didn't have friends. She wasn't able to socialize. Right. But with Wendy, I'm happy that she's breaking free from this and she's finding ways to be this ain't right. I might have had some other issues with alcohol and maybe she does need some assistance with financial management, but not to the point where she's locked away. And they said it's like a luxury prison.
Yeah, and Britney Spears is the first I heard
Me too.
of the conservatorship, but she wasn't the first. Bam was. Bam from Jackass was in the conservatorship because he was getting high and getting drunk, and it's crazy because he was it was a movie that the guy didn't. He used to drink milk. The Temptations.
Okay.
Where it was Paul used to drink milk, then he became an alcoholic. Well, they said this about Bam. Like when they first started Jackass, he didn't do shit. No drugs, no nothing. He drank milk. And then all of a sudden, he became a drug addict, raging alcoholic that couldn't control himself or his finances, and they put him in a conservatorship. Then he was able to get all cleared by doctors, and he still can't get out of it. Like, he's still in it to this day. He couldn't go, like, to his houses. He couldn't spend his money. Like, it's just shit is weird. Like, how they can tell grown people,
right,
you
that
can't
somebody else
do
got to be in charge of
him. And it was this woman who was in charge of him. I don't know who the lady was, but she dressed nice and all this kind of shit. But she always was around to tell him, look, you can't go home. She would call the state troopers in Westchester to be like, he can't come home. And he would just be trying to go home to his house. Like, that shit is crazy.
I'm happy Wendy has people. I'm happy her and Charlamagne have reunited and that she has people campaigning for her and, you know, trying to help her through this process because it's sad.
It is.
I think what broke Wendy
I want to see
mentally
Wendy out of it.
Is the situation with her husband. Like, that was a different kind of heartbreak, and I think it did do something to her mentally and probably caused her to drink more. But it doesn't mean that she had like that she's incapacitated. She went through a tremendous heartbreak and fell down on some hard times. Like, again, mentally, emotionally. It doesn't mean that now she needs to be locked down and can never recover and take care of herself.
I couldn't imagine experiencing that type of heartbreak that it fucks with your mind. Like, I thought that, you know, my first girlfriend was the heartbreak of my life, and it felt like I lost 30 pounds. I didn't want to eat. I'm listening to songs. I'm crying. You can't get it. And you think that is the heartbreak of your life. But if somebody breaks your heart to the point where you're going insane,
the way Wendy
like,
talked about her husband and the way she talked, like, revered that man, and then to find out not only did he have a whole nother family, like, near you where you live, him being with this woman, having a baby when y'all had trouble having another baby, like that, it was one of them things where you talk about being mind blown. Like, literally, it blew her mind. That was.
I've only seen two, like, celebrity women go through that kind of heartbreak where you see it change them. Wendy Williams and Lauryn Hill. Where it was like they different. Like they're not the same people no more. They're just different. Like that shit hurts so bad that they never getting over that. Never, it's beyond jaded. Like they're never getting over that. But them two is like, wow, like what's the dude, Ziggy Marley?
Her guy, I forget.
Damian Marley?
No, I forget
one of them.
Yeah, one of them I forget. Rohan,
and they had like 6 kids together. Like,
but he still had a wife, and it was a mess.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine that type of thing. That's a wrap. Act 2 the podcast, episode 218, coming to a close. Y'all know the platforms: Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Podcast Index, Podchaser, Google Podcasts, Player FM. Like, subscribe, share, comment, leave a joke, all that good stuff. Anything?
Lead with kindness. The world needs more love.
Enunciate. They can't hear you.
They heard me.
What you said?
I said lead with kindness. The world needs more love.
Was that kind to look at me with that face and say, I said that, lead with kindness? That wasn't fucking kind at all. Like, what are we talking about? Act 2 the podcast coming to a close. If y'all fuck with us, we fuck with y'all. If you don't,
you should.
Peace.